Hey guys, it's Dr. Frank at PFRANKMD, and today we're doing a takeover for Cartessa Aesthetics, which has all the cutting-edge new technologies, but today we're going to talk specifically about hair removal. It sounds like a boring old topic, but there's actually a lot of new advances in laser hair removal. We're going to talk about the hottest new device today, and that is the Motus AX, and we have Brandon over here, who is going to get a treatment today. So the big question is, what is hot about laser hair removal? Well, first and foremost, the Motus AX is a super fast and a very minimally painful type of device. You know, one of the biggest issues with hair removal was how fast could we get this done, how much pain is it going to be, how much local anesthetic, how dark is my skin, and am I even a candidate for it? And that, you really have all these answers in the Motus device. The wavelength of light is called an alexandrite. It's 755 nanometers, and it really is the most effective wavelength. Now, the problem with any wavelength of energy is creating heat that may damage the skin, and this is always a problem with darker skin types. Brandon has nice dark skin, but you have to be very, very cautious with laser technology. In the past, people with lighter hair or darker skin or both always had problems with risk. And if you just turn down the energy way too much, well, then that patient doesn't get the result. The Motus technology has something called Movio technology in it. And it's a way the energy is delivered. Oh, look at that, I'm getting caught up in here. It's a way the skin is cooled and way the tissue is healed up that it really protects the skin. So what we're going to do here, and we have our registered nurse, Amanda, that's going to do this, is we're really going to be delivering the energy in a slow heating up fashion, whereas the old technology was more of a stamping, which also came with pain and a sharper heat sink. The Movio technology really allows us to go under the radar of damaging pigment cells. So we're able to heat up those hair follicles at the root and cause the type of trauma that we want. So it's a really versatile laser. We're using it on people very fair skin to very dark, and we're using it on all hair types. One of the most unique things I'm finding about the technology is also its efficacy, because everyone wants to know how many treatments is it going to be until I don't have to shave anymore. And it's not necessarily the technology, but just the nature of hair growth. All of our hair doesn't grow at once, so it's not always gonna, there's no technology that's gonna be able to do it in 1 or 2 treatments. But a laser that maybe required 5 to 7 treatments before, certainly with the Motus AX technology, we're doing it in 3, 4, 5 max on darker skin types. So speed, efficacy, and most importantly, safety. Those are the 3 things we're really getting with this technology. Cartessa Aesthetic is the one that's delivering it to us. And we're going to do a treatment in a few minutes so you get to see how it works. So check it out. Hey, it's Dr. Frank at PFRANKMD, and we are back at the Cartessa Aesthetics takeover, and we're talking about the Motus AX technology for hair removal, permanent hair removal. And we have this lovely young woman here who is a great example of what we could do with this technology, because years ago you would actually be quite difficult as a patient because you have beautifully dark skin and you have some finer hair on the face. So it's always a little bit of a difficult situation for the laser to tell the difference between the color of the hair and the color of the skin. Not with the Motus AX. And this is really where this technology comes in, both in the wavelength of light, which is the greatest to target hair, but also the way the energy is delivered. What we discussed earlier is the Movio technology. It kind of slowly heats up the skin, so it goes under the radar of damaging the top layers of the epidermis, where the pigment is, and really targets the hair follicles as well. So she's a great candidate, and maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, she wasn't a great candidate. But right now, the other nice thing is that it's not going to be too painful at all. I think she's had some hair removal in the past. I'm sure it did not tickle. I expect this to be a much easier treatment for her. The other nice thing is she does have a history of some acne and scars here. The wavelength of light of this technology also is targeting pigment. So we're going to get a safe and effective treatment for hair removal, but it may also, not may, it will improve the texture of the scars and of the pigment. So that's an added benefit to the Motus AX. So you're a perfect example of what we're going to do today. The Motus AX is the hottest technology in hair removal, and we'll get started with treatment. See you later.
You felt that zap? You'll
No.
smell the hair burning. Any pain?
No.